Welcome, everybody, to Nicole's Review. At Nicole's Review, we feature talk that matters. Thank you so much for being with us today. We have today at this episode Shukla Suvan Shukla.
It's nice to be here.
It is nice having you today on the show, and I couldn't wait to have you here because I know that we have wonderful discussions, and I can't wait to share with the viewer today. Now, let's spend some time to tell me about this exciting news that we discussed earlier today on the phone, and I'd like to share with my viewer in Arlington today on a CMI TV show. Now, please tell me about yourself and your area of expertise.
Well, my name is Suvan Shukla. I'm 15 years old, and I'm a sophomore at Milton High School. And I'm interested in finding unique and different ways to fight malnutrition. Because the conventional way would be to collect charitable donations, buy food, and give it to people for free.
Mhm.
But that way is unsustainable. Eventually, when the money runs out, the food runs out, and people return to being hungry again. So my goal is to find a long-term solution to malnutrition.
Wow. Now, what's an example of a long-term solution to the malnutrition problem?
I'm actually interested in investigating two long-term solutions. The first would be to help poor farmers create business plans.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would lend them money, develop a business plan, and help them create a small business which would lead to income
Mm-hmm.
and then allow them to afford food. My other solution is to plant drought-resistant crops such as the moringa tree, the breadfruit tree, and the prickly pear cactus.
Mm-hmm.
All of these grow in tropical and subtropical climates, which is where the majority of malnutrition lies. So my goal is to plant those trees and inform people of its power so that way more people start planting the trees and helps malnutrition.
Wow. Amazing. Now, how did you get into this area of interest?
When I was a lot younger, my mother asked me and my brother to pursue a noble cause. And this was around the time of a earthquake in Haiti. And so I looked to there to see how I could help. And my first idea was to help people who were paralyzed by the earthquake
Mm-hmm.
because when I was a volunteer at Spalding Rehab Hospital, I saw a poster of a man with robotic legs, and I thought that'd be interesting if I took a robotic class and designed something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was that the class was expensive and the materials were expensive, and I realized if I had trouble affording it, then people in Haiti would also have trouble affording it, especially when they couldn't afford things like food. And so I thought, well, might as well start there, find a way to provide food and nutrients to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned to that as a solution, and I think it's a really interesting thing because in Haiti, around the time of the earthquake, 1 in 13 children under the age of 5 would die.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, imagine that happening here. Uh, it'd be, it would cause a lot of alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was a serious issue and one that I could help.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started pursuing that.
Wow, you think a lot for a young man.
Thank you.
Welcome. Wow, I could see you can save the world as you get older, and you. Let me continue. no, no. Now, how did you get into this area of interest?
Well, so after I found out about that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I met with a group of people called Engineers Without Borders.
Mm-hmm.
They're similar to Doctors Without Borders. And uh, they're an organization that helps developing countries
Mm-hmm.
with engineering problems like broken water systems.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first heard of this, I was kind of nervous because I had no experience in engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to expect,
Yep.
but I learned that they were working to distribute this plant called the moringa tree and to help malnutrition. And I was interested in this, and so I decided to help and join Engineers Without Borders.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great. Now, what malnutrition project have you worked on?
Well, while I was with Engineers Without Borders, I created a cookbook. They asked me to help introduce the moringa tree into recipes that were usually eaten there.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a lot of time working on that cookbook, and that is the main malnutrition project I've worked on.
Okay.
So creating that cookbook and distributing it to Tanzania.
Wow. Creating cookbook. Excellent. Now, how did you write a cookbook and the Tanzania project?
So Engineers Without Borders sent me a survey
Okay.
which explained what foods the villagers ate daily as opposed to weekly,
Okay.
monthly. Like they sometimes even ate food only once a year. And so I figured out what were the most popular foods, and I was unfamiliar with some of them, so
Mm-hmm.
I went to a restaurant in Waltham called Caribou.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Tanzanian restaurant, and I tried the food for myself, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. Some of it was different to me, like there was a meal called ugali, which is like rice, and I liked some of them, and I figured out what was the most popular. Uh, Started making them at home,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the plant in.
Is it in anything a comparison to American food? Can you describe any of that?
It's a lot different. It tastes more natural, kind of
Okay.
like uh, something you would find and then directly turn into it. It tastes a lot more clean, and there are a lot of sauces.
Oh,
Not many
sauces.
spices.
Yeah.
Not many spices.
Now, what is your next project?
My next project would be to do something similar for Haiti,
Okay.
because I was contacted by the head of My Brother's Keeper Center Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asked to make a cookbook similar to the Tanzanian one,
Mm-hmm.
but with Haiti. And I was excited by this because uh, I, I've never been contacted before
Wow.
by something like that. So I was really thrilled to take the job, and
This is
I,
exciting.
yeah, and I started working on it as a junior consultant
Mm-hmm.
for a business plan. I also did that. I have already helped. I've designed T-shirts with them, and we're still doing work. So my goal is to A, help with a small business,
Mm-hmm.
and B, introduce the drought-resistant plant. So I'm tackling both long-term solutions.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Unbelievable. You're 15. You've got so many credentials, and you, you. Wow. I have no word. Are there any other countries that you are focused on beside Haiti and Tanzania?
Not at the moment. I'm really focused on those two, especially on Haiti. When I was a lot younger in elementary school, my mom introduced me to this packet which could clean water.
Mm-hmm.
And this was useful, especially after the earthquake in Haiti when a lot of the water sources were contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it'd be interesting to give a demonstration of how the packet could clean water in front of my classmates. It was called a P&G Pure Water Packet. And I showed this, and I got a lot of positive feedback from my classmates, and I was excited, and I thought, well, I can help Haiti in other ways too.
Okay.
So I went back to helping Haiti with malnutrition, and I've been working on it since.
Wow. Now, what would you like to do when you grow up?
I'm not sure. There are many jobs I would be interested in pursuing. Uh, I like writing because I read a lot and I write a lot too. So that would be something to pursue, especially since I could write about subjects like this and communicate that message to the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to be part of some organization like the United Nations
Mm-hmm.
because I love traveling and going to other countries, and uh, I would like to have an influence around the world.
I could see you already starting to do that, and you've already executing different ideas. You have strategy on different projects already.
Hmm.
You're helping different organizations already.
Yeah.
You wrote books for different organizations.
Hmm.
You're already making changes in the world.
Yeah, I would like to continue doing that and maybe expand it too.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you'll have a lot of supports
Hmm.
to do that. And your mom's been a big inspiration for you, you said?
Yeah, she has been.
Now, are there great leaders you admire that has influenced you
Uh,
in your work?
I admire many people in history, like Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln,
Mm-hmm.
people who have done everything they could to help those in need. I'm especially inspired by Robin Hood, the fictional character,
Mm-hmm.
who would steal from the rich and give to the poor. And I would love to help the poor, although not necessarily by stealing from the rich. I would do it in a much more ethical way.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal is to help the poor in the same way that Robin Hood did.
Wonderful. This is amazing. Now, would you like to show your book? You want me to get it?
Sure.
Are there any questions you have for me?
I am interested in your experiences in Haiti because I know you're Haitian and I'm wondering if you noticed any difference after the earthquake uh, in the country.
Not much. Not much at all. I went back to Haiti early last year. I didn't see much changes at all. It was I what I saw devastated me. I saw people still live in the city. They still resign, living in tents, rip tents, still sleeping on sheets, on cots. If they have cots, that means they're rich, basically,
Yeah.
because they're still living on the ground. Children with no clothes, still resigned there on the ground zero after the earthquake. They don't have any place to live. They're still outside, 100,000 of them. After all the money that was raised that for them to, for the people, Red Cross or the other people, I don't want to mention name that raised during election that they were supposed to help. I don't know where the help went, but I visited myself. I took pictures. I couldn't stop crying. I cried myself back to the hotel and back to America. I wanted to see myself because I'm working on my organization myself. I wanted to see myself what was happening because you hear the news, you hear what's happening, but you wanted to see yourself. But I went there in March, and the people that I saw that still live there on the ground. How many people can live on the street for 7 years? Well, I heard 100 people die per week because they can't live anymore. No water, no food. I mean, uh, who can live like this?
And yet you
That's
mentioned an organization. You
yeah.
said you were working.
Yeah, I have worked in many different organizations supporting Haiti because I'm from there, my homeland. I'm always working on organizations. It's a passion of mine, and wow, you really asked me that question? No one ever asked me that question, but I'm glad you asked. I'm from Haiti, yes. I moved here a long, long time ago, and I finally went to Haiti last year, and um, I like to help my country just like you are helping my country. And and I like to see other people like yourself helping. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so I'm a public servant. I dedicate myself to work communities. I I just I like to really interview folks like yourself and other people that like to support communities and organizations like rural countries like Haiti. Thank you for asking that.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you to do that.
Thank you.
Which organizations have you helped?
I have helped HACID, which was a huge organization, but that's for another time. We could discuss that some other time. But
Of course.
yeah. But would you like to talk about anything else? Would you like to share any big projects you have coming? I'd like to share with any youth, you 15 years old. Would you like to share with my viewers that are 15 years old out there? You like to tell them about your story for what you got going on.
Well, as I said, at the moment, I'm primarily focused on Haiti because I think it's a country that needs a lot of help at the moment. And so I'm working on that cookbook. I've gone to different restaurants and I've tried the food. And at the moment, I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm going to put in the cookbook. And I'll need a translator for the Creole translation because when I made the Tanzanian cookbook, the people at the restaurant Caribou were very helpful. They translated it to Swahili. So after the cookbook's done, I'll need to translate it. I'm also helping my brother's Keeper Center Inc. With a business plan, and we've made the T-shirts. We're gonna make a mobile hospital, and it's gonna be great.
Exciting.
You
You have to come back and tell us about that project when it's done.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Well, it's so great having you here.
It was nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great having you. Thank you for coming. Nicole's review.
Well, thank you for having me.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.